Shame and guilt are two different things. Guilt is an emotion that is helpful. It tells me I've done something that's not true to me. It's not okay with me. And I cannot be okay in my relationship with myself until I fix that. And once I fix it, I don't need to feel guilty anymore. Shame is entirely different. Shame says I am what's wrong. There is something inherently about me that will always be bad. It's wrong. It's flawed. And there's not a cotton picking thing I can do to make it right. So shame is going to teach me to not love myself. There's nothing it can do that will help me love myself. Now, parents use shame a lot and churches use shame a lot because it does create compliance. It makes you get what you want done quickly. And it teaches the people who comply quickly to hate themselves. And here's the problem with that. If I hate myself, I will not be making choices that are loving towards myself. I'll be okay with doing things that hurt me. It'll be easier to fall into any kind of addiction, whether it be food or Facebook or cutting, self-harm, or being on TV all the time, or drugs, alcohol, and the whole 9 yards. If I can't love myself, then I'm not going to be okay with myself, and I'm not going to be okay with others. And then shame breeds shame. So if I feel ashamed and I'm not worthy, and then I go about my life, I'm going to tend to make choices that are not helpful nor healthy for myself or for other people. And then I'm going to feel ashamed about myself all over again. And so when churches use shame to get compliance, they're actually breeding the behaviors that they are trying to make their members avoid. And then it just gets worse from there. Now, I grew up in church leadership. I grew up in a home of church leadership, around people of church leadership, and I had pastors and district superintendents and professors and general superintendents and just all sorts of people in my life that were just continually in my life, evangelists. And you know what I heard them talking about? Now, these are the gatekeepers, the ones who stop people from staying in the church if they are bad. And yet, you know what they suffered with? Is they suffered with shame. And they had hidden closets, and they had things that they talked about that they were secretively struggling with. And nobody knew about it, but they were happening. So it wasn't something that was just for the plebes down below. Shame was something that was costly all the way up the church that I grew up in. And the older I get and the more I live and the more people I know it's not just my church, it's any religious organization that uses shame as part of its way of being. If you're part of a religious organization that pushes on love and compassion, it will become healthy for you. It could become healthy for you if you believe the theology of that belief system. If it uses shame, you're going to feel like dirt the rest of your life. And if you believe in a God of love, that's not going to fly. That's not going to be okay. So I want you to really examine what it is that you are taught about yourself and about your behaviors. And I want you to assess, your own behaviors and what do your behaviors drive you to do? Things that are healthy for you or things that hurt you? Is there a cycle of shame that is interminable because of how you were brought up and what you believe? I hope that you can find love for yourself. It's okay to find love for yourself in whatever theology you live in, if any at all. And I hope that your family cultures and your church cultures can become more loving so you can become stronger to make great decisions. And I want you to think about that if you have somebody who is your greatest coach, your greatest teacher, who is constantly, you know what, you can do it, and you're amazing, and let's go. That's something that gives you strength. That's love. It's okay to say that to yourself and to love on yourself. I'll see you soon.